Yo, 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 it's Antoine. But if you're watching this, you may already know that. But if not, I think it's important to say my name. All right, so today I'm doing something different. And I want to make sure that you understand what's about to happen. So, part of me as a human being is I can be very random at times. And that randomness is because I just be having a lot of stuff going on in my head. So hopefully a few people will hop on and we are going to talk about it. And it today can be a number of different things. So if you're available to watch, if you have a question, if you have a comment, let's just talk. We're going to have some fun. We're going to talk. So what I want to start with is I'm going to start um, with some of the great things of 2020. Literally, 2020 has been a year where we've easily been able to talk about all the bad stuff. But today, I'm going to spend some time talking about the good stuff. And if you've had something good that happened to you this year that you are like, man, this could have been worse, but it's not as bad as I thought it was. So I want you to be able to drop your comment of something good that has happened to you this year. So we're going to acknowledge that this year has had some of its moments that have just been like really like, whoa, this isn't great. But we also have had some moments that have been absolutely amazing. Some of us, some of you, some of we have been able to produce some things in our lives this year that would have never been produced if we hadn't had 2020 the way it was. So, or the way it has been. We're still in it. And so some people have started new careers. Some people have started new jobs. Some people have created new businesses, developed new plans. Some people have gotten more inner peace. And yes, there is the opposite that's true as well. This year has been uh, an intense year for many people. So my question is, what? Let's see. I'm typing right now. What has been the best part of 2020 for you? What has been the best part of 2020 for you? Because again, there's been a lot of crazy stuff, but we also had some good stuff. Some, like I said earlier, some people have started new businesses. Have you started a new business this year? Have you started a new relationship this year? Have you connected with new friends that have been very valuable to you? Have you done something amazing that you like? If 2020 hadn't have happened, I wouldn't have been here. I wouldn't have been able to do the things that I am doing. What has happened? What has been grand? What has been great? So I think for me, some of the best parts of 2020 have been just finding some more inner peace, being able to push myself a little bit harder. There's been an increase in income, increase in access. This year, I've gotten calls that I never thought I would get. I have experienced, of course, ups and downs like everybody has, but this year for me has been one of like, yo, you are good. You got this. You will make it. You will survive. Some of you may have that same story. And if you do, let me know that you're here. Share with me what that good thing of 2020 was, or those good things of 2020 have been, because sometimes in a 12-month span, it's easy to see all of the things that didn't work. It's easy to focus on all of the things that didn't go well. But at the end of the day, we know that all things work together for good to those who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. So if you're living in his purpose, something great has had to happen this year. And if you feel like something great hasn't happened, it's okay. You can turn that around. You can start to refocus and redirect. So this year, even in my family, like I've had people in my family that have had health issues, but they have overcome them. I've had people that have not weren't able to do things last year, and because of the pandemic, because of better health, they've been able to do stuff this year. What has been the part of 2020 for you that has actually been good? If you can just drop, hey friend, hope you're doing good, Jen. If you can drop just one thing in the chat that has been good this year. I know people have experienced deaths. COVID has done things like there's been things with Black Lives Matter. There's been court cases. There's been a lot of stuff that we can say is bad. But for a moment on this Friday, as we not even celebrate, but as we deal with the fact that today is 9/11, you probably even remember where you were at in 9/11. You remember it like it was yesterday. In spite of today and sometimes the memory of today being bitter, I think they call today Patriots Day now, if I'm not mistaken. But what has been the turning point of your 2020? What has been that moment where you're like, you know what, I can't even complain no more? It's just been that good. So Jennifer says, I got my first paid speaking engagement this year. Like, that's epic. A lot of us have been in that same place where we have been doing a lot of things for free, for passion. Maybe we didn't know how to close deals, we didn't know how to get our worth, but we got in and got it. So congrats, Jen, on that first paid speaking engagement. And I believe that if this year hadn't have happened, you might not have had that opportunity to have it paid. You might have had a speaking engagement, but have a different month able to focus more. Our relationship with God is better. I think that is profound and true for a lot of people. A lot of people have at the beginning of this pandemic season, and I'm coming to call it a season because I don't believe it's going to last forever. But a lot of people have gotten focused. A lot of people have definitely had their relationships with Christ improved. I am going to chew some gum, which I shouldn't do on live, but my throat is bothering me, and that's the closest thing that I have. So, when it comes to your year, in spite of the things that have gone wrong around you, can you post one thing that's been good? And as you get prepared for the end of this year, what is one thing that you want to happen by the end of this year? What do you want to see happen in your life by the end of this year? What are you seeking God for by the end of this year? Like, yo, the way my throat started, if I had a cough drop, I would have taken that. But I had this gum just gonna have to, y'all gonna have to suffer with me through this gum. But yeah, so for me this year, okay, I can I share my year with y'all? I'm gonna share a few pieces that I remember. This year, I have gotten a raise financially from my job. I've gotten a raise this year from my business by implementing um, strategies that are working. My partnerships have have gotten bigger and greater. But thank you for the Amazon cough drops. Um, I have I've been a part of a uh, video. I've had the chance to work with Marvin Sapp and shoot some video for him. That actually I just got a message today, and it was like, oh, you know, the video that you did for Marvin Sapp is the background video for his new single that he just released. Uh, I've had content this year on BET, on Sunday's Best, on iHeartRadio. I have gotten, I have worked out business deals with multiple new businesses. Like, this year has kept me working, has kept me focused on not just what I'm capable of, but what I'm actually doing. Sometimes we get stuck in our resume, what we have done and what's happened. But what's happening now? Is happening in your life right now where you're like, you know what? I see the light at the end of the road. I see the I see that this tunnel has another side. Um, this year, what else has happened? This year, I finally set up kind of my office space in my home, and I got some new equipment so that I could produce better quality content. I have become more confident in me in every aspect of my life. Like, there's so much. Like when you go to the details of your days, um, Jennifer got a new car, and then in spite of the things that have went wrong, there's still so much opportunity um, to do great. Now, if we wanted to, we could talk about also, the hardships, the things that were the struggle. But at the end of the day, those things matter only for our growth, only for our development. So being able to say, well, yes, I lost a loved one, I lost a friend, or I, I've been stuck in the house, I've been whatever. At some point, you have to say, I can't control what happens around me. I can control how I handle it, and I can make choices to improve the quality of my life. For you that are watching, feel free to share something that has happened great for you in 2020. What else has happened for me? I've become more focused. I hired a admin assistant who is helping me to get some things done that by myself, like I just it's just too much. I've Monica says she realized that she can handle more than she thought. This year will has stretched many of us to where things that we would have given up on last year, we pushed through this year. And you may be like that too. There's been some things this year where you're like, man, I was maybe weaker last year, or I wasn't as strong last year. Last year, I would have thrown in the towel much sooner, but this year, you've given yourself more opportunity and more chances to grow, to develop, to build. And what of that will you take into 2021? No matter if Corona is still here, because the fact of the matter is, sickness will be here, war will be here, financial hardships will be here. A lot of stuff will still be here. But how will you charter those territories? How will you be strong in those times where it should be a moment of weakness? How will you push through? Because at the end of the day, 2020 gonna be what 2020 gonna be. But you have the opportunity to be a greater version of you, and you just got to push through. Monica says, just more in tune with who I am and what I want in general. I think I've been there too, where so this year I started a podcast. I forgot about that. I started a podcast that was able to interview and work with some top people in the music industry, from Janet Jackson's music director to Eminem and Rihanna's music director, to the former MD for Ty Tribbett. I've had the chance to meet all of these people. Some of them I already knew, some of them I didn't. um, I've had the chance to see uh, 5-digit income months where we've hit, you know, some decent money for me and my team. I've been able to support people overseas and engage with consumers overseas and build businesses. And this is still just the beginning. Um, and by the end of the year, there will be some new things that are happening this year. It will not be determined. We cannot allow this year on our end to be determined by happened in the environment. We have to continue to be prayed up. We have to continue to know that greatness is on us. And if you don't live in the greatness that you were designed to live in, you will continue to feel overwhelmed and underprivileged and all of these types of things. But you have to push. You have to go beyond what you thought you could do. You have to stretch yourself a little bit more. Don't stress yourself a little bit more, but stretch yourself a little bit more so that you can get all that's for you. So Unfortunately, I have to go already because I have some other obligations. Well, something like obligations. I got some other things to do, but definitely drop something that's been great this year for you in the comment section. And I look forward to seeing you guys on Monday. I do these Monday through Friday, and just whatever I'm inspired to share, that's what I share. And I have a lot coming up the pike. Was it pike? I think the right word for that is pike. Anyway, it's been real. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys on Monday.